TT?
They're not dead yet. Buildings that stop changing. This doesn't sound like it's supposed to. When Bernie talks, oh, there it goes. Buildings that stop changing have died and just start to deteriorate. So it's kind of a cool, exciting time to think about where we are with regard to Calvary's buildings, how they serve what we're here to do. Charles is going to walk us through what's taken place over a long time.
Well, again, I'm the oldest one on the committee, so they get me to do the history. Um, the Memphis was founded as a real estate deal in 1819, I think, um, and so it had a strategic location, which led to what the city has become. We're high on a bluff. We don't not so subject to flooding. We are close to a lot of agricultural areas, and the closest cities are pretty far away. I mean, St. Louis, um, New Orleans, Atlanta, Nashville. So as the city grew, agricultural areas in the deltas of both Mississippi and Arkansas were cleared. The forests were cleared. So lumber became a big business in Memphis. And after that, cotton, which was planted on those areas that were cleared, became a big business in Memphis. Mules were sold here, the best, biggest mule trade in the country. People were sold here for the agricultural area. All that has led to the changes in the city as well as into Calvary's buildings. If we fast forward about 13 years into the growth of the city, that's when Calvary was founded. And just think back what things looked like in 1832 and what they didn't have that we have. You know, electricity, railroads, airplanes, the internet, microphones, all that. And so the changes that the church has gone through are based on all kinds of changes around us. They're not all generated just by us. When you think society has changed very much, both through laws and also through evolution in people's thought. Um, the liturgies have changed somewhat over the years, which has affected how we've used the original space that was built in 1842. All sorts of other changes have caused the changes that we have gone through. And when I started putting this together, it became obvious to me that we've changed a lot more than I thought we had. So I'm going to do a quick run through of what's happened since the first building. There were a couple of buildings that we used prior to this location. One of them was a log house in Court Square where we met. There was a two-story building that the church built on 2nd Street, across the street, about a block or two north, where down the stairs was the worship space. And the rector lived upstairs with his family. And it was a he. It was a he for a long time. That's another change. So we'll just quickly go through these. First building, one room. That building was built in 1842-ish. I will say right now, a lot of these dates are approximate because our source material is a book that is purported to be the history of Calvary Church, but there's building started at the back of the church space and went as far as the three arches that are in the chancel. The description of it was that the pulpit and lectern were hung on the east wall and looked very much like pockets on a table. That's from the great book. Not the good book, the great book. And so that was all we had. All the things that we have now that we consider essential were not. People arrived by carriage or buggy at the front door on 2nd Street. Obviously, we don't do that anymore. And so even though that's our main entrance, it's not our main entrance. We had no parking lots at that time. We didn't need them. Because you were dropped off and they would then come back and pick you up. So the accounts of the building say that it originally seated 600 people. I'm not sure how that worked. I don't think they had side aisles. And people were thinner then because they walked a lot. But I read two accounts. One of them said the population was just under 2,000. Another one said it was 6,000. Either way, I think that exceeds even Joel Osteen's arena in Houston to found his church. I mean, to think that you would build a building for 10% of the population at the time is just beyond comprehension. But anyway, that's what's. And about 20 years later, the bell tower was added. Part of that was peer pressure. You know, you had the Presbyterians with the big steeple on top of what's there now. You had the Methodists with the big steeple. And so we had a bell, so we built a bell. After that, and this is where it gets kind of interesting, there was a lot behind us, which may or may not have been the slave market. But it was right back in that area. The chancel was added. They bought another lot and added that. And if you can see on there, the sacristy was where the organ, half of it is on the north side. On the south side was the organ. And there was a hallway between them behind the altar. The rear dice, which is on our back wall, sat on the altar. And that's important for later when the liturgy changed, where the priest celebrated at the altar facing the congregation. Calvary had a freestanding altar because that hall was moved, but the stone altar has steel posts under it holding it up. It wasn't practical to move it back, so it just became a freestanding altar and worked with the liturgy that started in the mid-70s. 1970. So that was everything that's back of the three arches that are in the chancel area. Wrong. Okay, around 1900, things started to change. The parish house, where the Great Hall is, was built at the turn of the century. And that building housed the church offices, which is what's now the Montgomery Board, with 3 people in there, and the rector's office and secretary above it. And that was the staff, except for Dr. Studeman's, whose office was further back in the building. And, you know, we have a much bigger staff than that now. We have much bigger ministries than that now. In that building, also the basement, was the Newsboys Club. At that time, newspapers were sold on the street corners all over downtown. They would come to Calvary, get their papers, and then go to their spots. And Calvary became a place where they could come to get warm or whatever. Also, outreach became a part of the ministries. It's hard to do outreach if you have one room. So other things started happening then. There was a clinic, there were all sorts of other things. One of the clinics even became the Ear, Nose, and Throat Hospital, which has been absorbed into a bigger hospital. So also at that time, right after that, and during the Depression, part of the roof blew off in a storm, and the water ruined the organ. And so the organ was replaced in, I think, 1835. And it is over in that corner. The sacristy still was where it was before. Just as a for instance, the services totally started changing from about that point on. Before that, the communion rail was between, it only was